Any of the views expressed in this show do not represent the views or opinions of those participating. We are merely observers.
Please do not reenact any of the stories you hear on our show.
Being featured on our show is not something to be proud of.
And as always, please drink responsibly.
Oh, man.
For weeks I've been building up and been waiting at the last second, holding back. Building up and holding back, but boy, I'm going to let go now.
I ain't showered for weeks. I'm ready. Welcome to another episode of Laughs and Drafts. My name is Jason Thomas, your resident fancy boy.
I'm Jared Landis, your learning man.
Is Tim the old man?
And I'm Ethan, the guy with the glasses.
Guy with the glasses. Once again,
I had to remember what my name was.
It's been a while.
I see you looking over at the phone, and it's
been a while.
just you have these notes like Ethan, don't kill anybody.
My name
Ethan,
is
it's okay.
Ethan.
The guy with glasses, and they touch your face to make. Oh God, I am wearing glasses. Anyways, for those of you who have not listened to our podcast before, we go over strange and new stories as well as cover a few different beers and say what we do and do not like about them. And it has been so long. Once again, we went on another hiatus because, you know, we just have stuff that we're all doing.
Four of us leading four separate lives.
Four separate lives.
Life just
schedules.
happens.
Yep, life just happens. Tim Landis, 2018.
It's all
That
about
should be on
me.
your tombstone.
Life happens, but not here anymore because I am dead.
You can quote me on that one.
You can quote me on that one. I can't wait until we get to experience at least one of our funerals. It'll probably be mine first. So I'm leaving it to you all to do something super strange at my funeral.
Don't worry.
Yeah,
Don't worry. Your body's mine. As soon as that life leaves it, I'll be there. Anyways, we're going to get into our first story of the night. This one is from CNN.com, and the headline reads, "She went on one date. One date." It's in all caps, so it is like you have to, went on one date. One date! And then bombarded him with 65,000 text messages, police say. You think you've been on a bad date? We're pretty sure it went nothing like this. A Phoenix area man went on a date with a woman he met online, and that's usually...
Those are wonderful.
Yeah, they look online, they can hide how crazy
They always
are.
work out.
The meeting likely didn't go well. Not only wasn't there a repeat, he blocked her from the dating app. The woman said that was last year.
Okay.
And soon afterward, things went wrong. Very wrong. Do they just like to repeat things in this? I guess that's it.
That's a great story.
Oh, wait. From threatening texts.
That was a long...
I remember there being so much more to this, and I scrolled down and that was it.
Anticipation was building.
Yeah. Geez, from threatening texts, police say that in the next 17 months, the woman sent the man text messages, about 65,000 of them, including 500 in one day. In court documents, prosecutors laid out how threatening the tone of some of them were. One said, "Don't you ever try to leave me. I'll kill you.
It's like those...
I don't want to be a murderer."
the crazy girlfriend get, like those, the memes.
Yeah. Crazy girlfriend. In another, she said she would kill him if he left her and would wear his body parts and bathe in his blood, the document said. And that's just the half of it. When the man was out of town last month, he noticed in his home security system that the woman broke into his house and was taking a bath in his tub, police say. Police came to the residence and discovered not only an uninvited house guest, but also a large butcher knife in the front seat of her car. Officers took her into custody and charged her with felony trespassing. When it was time for her to appear in court, she didn't. I didn't know that was a choice.
An option?
A warrant was issued for her arrest. Oh, so she broke into his house and they just kind of let her go. On Tuesday, police in Paradise Valley, a small affluent town in Arizona, I was really thinking it was going to be Florida, arrested the woman after they said she showed up at the man's business and claimed to be his wife. They identified her as Jacqueline Ades, 31.
How do you spell that last name?
A-D-E-S.
A-D-E-S.
AIDS.
Full. Written with
Jacqueline AIDS. Well,
wow.
at least it wasn't Florida. I mean, there's always that bright light that you have at the end of the tunnel that at least you weren't in Florida when this all happened. Because she wouldn't have waited for you to not be home. She just would have came over and sneezed syphilis into your face.
Or AIDS.
AIDS. That's right. Because that's her MO. AIDS. Miss AIDS.
School to stop spanking pupils on their birthdays after parents complain.
What?
That don't sound right.
A Texas elementary school takes action after receiving complaints saying pupils can choose a hug or a high five instead.
I can choose. So what you're telling me is I can still get my spankings if I want them.
That's what Dr. Messer said.
That's what I want.
A school in Texas is going to stop spanking its pupils on birthdays after parents complain about the special celebration. Superintendent of the local independent school district, Dr. Randy Brown, said the head teacher, at Alvord Elementary School had decided on her own accord to discontinue the tradition. In an earlier letter, the principal, Bridget Williams, wrote to parents to make clear that the practice was optional. He said that if parents would prefer their child to not receive birthday spankings, they should please write and send the office a handwritten note. Explaining the practice, Ms. Williams said a pupil may receive birthday spankings along with a birthday special day pencil and a piece of candy.
This guy got so rapey, right? Or like so quick.
Here's your candy.
Let me touch your butt. Here's a piece of candy.
Any student who rejected a spanking has the option of a hug or a high five.
Or a spanking.
I'll take the spanking, please.
It's just weird that they have to have a handwritten note to not get spanked. They're like, oh, you didn't get your handwritten note.
This looks like it was signed by you. Bend over. I don't like this game.
This looks forged.
Yeah, this looks forged, Timothy.
You're in for it now.
Can you prove it?
We're going to pretend you're 24 now instead.
Hard to believe she's already 18.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, man.
But Miss Williams said no more than 5 pupils had requested something other than the birthday swat over the past 8 years. Children just asking for it, huh?
Yeah.
She said that the spankings were on...
No. That goes on the list of things we do not say. We need to leave that in, though. That was so funny. Oh, man. Children just asking for it.
She said that the spankings were on camera and there were always other adults in the office celebrating with us.
Oh my God! I have every recording at home.
Dr. Brown, man with the biggest hand in all of town, said he had a child at the school and did not have any issue with the practice.
Oh, man.
I got him at home in my basement on a loop.
I have no problem with this. I let him out of the basement once every 5 months, and it's for his spanking.
To his knowledge, that is Dr. Brown, the school had received 2 complaints and had issues much more important to focus on other than this one. CBS 11 said it had been contacted by a parent who described the practice as inappropriate, but more than a dozen others disagreed.
Nah, spank him. Touch my children.
This always goes well.
Yeah. Jeez. I feel like there's a lot of
Everything's...
the way it's worded, everything in this thing is the way it's worded is just like these kids are in a terrible position,
Right.
and someone needs to call somebody.
They've conditioned them to treat spanking as a treat.
Yeah,
Which
that's gonna be
to me shouldn't come until you're maybe 18,
Was this a public,
19 years old.
Was this a public school, private school?
To my knowledge, it is a public school. It's an elementary school.
Oh, God.
Elementary
Yeah.
school.
which is even creepier.
I mean, you could have like one of those hot teachers that you're like, oh, it's my birthday.
It was your birthday last week, Timothy. I'm older by a day. Just one finger.
Been held back like a couple years.
Why is my name being used?
Everybody comes back here. I have one student. He's 35. And he keeps on coming back every year.
Now, as you're spanking me, grab me around the throat and squeeze so I almost lose consciousness.
Oh my gosh. No, that's good. That's perfect right there.
You're turning purple. No, it's fine.
It's fine. All right, you can let go. You can let go. So none of us speak to each other till next year. Oh my gosh, that is ridiculous.
We should probably stop right there.
Poor Tim looked like he was out.
Oh, man.
Brings back nightmares.
I'll say you were back in school and they did spankings with paddles.
I miss those days.
I love the fact that it's offered as a reward, and like what that's going to be when those kids get their first job. It's like, oh, you got those TPS reports in? They just pull down their pants and bend over and look at you like,
you're fired. Get out.
I'll take my reward now. All right, let's go on to the next story.
Oh my goodness! I don't know if I can top that one, but this everybody likes beer runs, but this gives a new meaning to beer run. It's an idea of running a marathon overwhelms you. A town in Texas is holding a race less than a half a mile. There's even a break in the middle for coffee and donuts, and at the beer at the start and at the end. What a reward!
I could just walk that.
So that's about it. That was a good, really.
This is a short one.
That was a short story.
Yeah, that's.
Is it 2 sentences?
Oh my gosh! I saw a whole bunch at the bottom, and it's Rachel Martin, host.
Well, yes, it is.
Good morning to Rachel. I'm Rachel Martin. No, I'm not.
Who am I?
You know, it's a half a mile race. All it says is that, and if it says that if it still feels exhausting, never fear. There's a real coffee and donut right in the middle of the break. And the best part, you can even get a sticker. We tried those.
A banana sticker.
For the back of your car, so you can brag about your underachievement. It's in the morning edition.
Man, you can just look at me and know my underachievements. I don't need a sticker to brag the world. You can just look at me. You look at my car, you look at me, you just know that I don't achieve very much in
Did it
life.
say the name of the race or anything? It should have a name for it, right?
The beer run.
I just called the beer run.
With coffee and donuts at the break in the
The
middle.
morning edition of the paper here. That's it.
Cool. Morning edition.
Don't
Ridiculous.
scoff
Who are
at my
they?
story.
Who are they?
It's an NPR, which is ridiculous because it's at NPR.org is where he's getting the story. And I have never seen NPR wrap anything up in 2 sentences. They could literally talk
Most
about
long-winded.
Well, this is
a
the
number
first.
2 pencil for 30 minutes easily. And the fact that it's like, here's something that's mildly interesting. It's a beer run.
That's it.
The end. Good job, NPR. That's why no one listens to you anymore. All right, Ethan, take us away.
Florida man
Yes.
tries to set motel on fire to barbecue all the child molesters.
Burn, baby, burn.
What was this one of us?
Not the hero we need.
For the hero Florida deserves.
There's no better spot to burn child molesters than Florida.
Burn any building down, you'll
Yeah, I was
hit
about
one.
to say, you can still imagine any direction you're going to catch somebody.
Kissimmee, Florida. Florida man is in jail after he was accused of trying to kill sex offenders, authorities said. According to investigators, Jorge Porto Sierra, 50, tried to set the men on fire. He's been charged with 4 counts of attempted premeditated murder.
You touched my father. Prepared to die.
My name is Jorge.
Also, the county detectives say Porto Sierra confessed to deputies that he tried to kill multiple people at the Friendly Village Inn. Yeah, okay. That's the name of the place. After his March 7th arrest, Porto Sierra said he arrived at the motel to barbecue all the child molesters on fire and kill them. That in quotes.
On the barbecue and the child molesters on fire.
That got your grass.
WESH2.
That's racist.
WESH2 reported that 2 of the 4 victims are convicted sexual offenders. Witnesses told deputies Porto Sierra made several threats, screaming, "I'm going to kill you, child molester," and began throwing gasoline on their front door.
Oh my God.
I'm going
When
to kill
asked-
you, child molester.
I'm going to kill you, man.
I'm going to kill you, man.
When asked by deputies why he did not carry out his threats, Porto Sierra said, "You got here too soon." Sierra remains behind bars at the Osceola County Jail. He's being held on no bond.
Another news: the reports of child molestation in Florida
on the
have
rise.
skyrocketed. Jeez.
Oh man, that man's Batman in Florida.
Yeah, he was. He was Batman. Batman. Oh man,
shoot.
that's. Well, what did it say? 2 of his 4 victims were.
Yeah, the rest is just collateral damage.
Yeah, I was about to say 50% is still pretty
good. That's a good odds, you know?
Especially if you're, once again, like we said in Florida, to light a match, throw it in any direction, you're going to hit a child molester.
Well, okay, 2 out of 4 are child molesters or sexual offenders.
The other 2 just aren't convicted.
But 4 out of 4 are still from Florida.
Either one of those is good. I like you guys. I like you. It was funny because I went down there for work recently. And the 2 things I
I'm
noticed.
so glad you're back.
So like you fly in, you get off the plane, and of course it's just like it hits you, and you're just like, no,
The muck,
I'm
the swamp.
here. So I like
Swamp butt
we're
and
there.
nut fog.
Oh yeah, for real. It's like as soon as you get off the plane, it's just like humidity. Your crotch is a humidifier.
Ball sweat.
So we go there. One of the great things though, holy crap, the food was great.
Right.
Like we ate some restaurants that were, there was one, it was called the Dubliner, and I had shepherd's pie, which could have been people. I don't know.
It doesn't matter.
I don't know what sheep tastes like. So anyways, so there's 2 things I noticed. One, every single girl, regardless of their age, I saw their butt. Because they, even if they had like jean shorts on, they were like, it was like someone was like, hey, you know those jean shorts?
Mm-hmm.
What if we had like shorts, but they were like a thong as well, but they were jeans?
So denim underwear is what you're
denim
talking
underwear,
about.
yeah. And I'm just like, and even the lady that from my work that I went there with, it's just like we were just cracking up the whole time we're driving around. And so I'm just like, everybody, like your butt is just out. And I guess, I mean, Florida standards just, you know.
What part were you in though?
Boca Raton, which is like rich, rich, beautiful. If you know what I mean. You could buy anything with the right amount of oil. No, so the other thing was, and I sent this to you in a text, there was a sign on the highway, like a giant billboard that just said, syphilis is serious.
We should put that picture up, people.
I think I still have it. No, I might have deleted it because I tried to wipe that trip from my memory. But anyways, so our first beer of the night is...
It's called the Rethinker by New Day Craft. Let's see. This one is... It's a year-round beer, so it's not seasonal. 6% alcohol. It's a dry hopped blueberry mead, full hop aroma mixed with floral notes, dry fruit finish, made with Cascade and Columbus hops. And now, not all mead is necessarily made with hops, but this one is. But mead is created by fermenting honey with water, sometimes with various fruits, spices, grains, or in this case, hops. Alcoholic ranges are typically from 3.5% to upwards of over 20%.
Yeah.
So I mean, and it's almost always sweet.
Yeah, because it's honey based.
Yeah.
So I think, and this one is because it's a debate of whether it's a wine, no, it's a beer, and mead just kind of in its own category. But I think it has more of a beer profile because of the adding of the hops.
Right.
So that's why we're covering it today.
This company, New Day, it's somewhat local. It's out of Indianapolis. So it says you can visit our tasting room at the historic Fountain Square if you're in the neighborhood. But I guess I don't know if they're countrywide. I mean, the fact that they must not be like super local because we got it down here. But
Yeah, I'm gonna say it comes from. Did you see already where they're from?
in Indianapolis.
Okay, yeah. That's. I like that a lot.
Yeah, I mean, it's very good. You get
It's easy
hop.
drinking.
Yeah, it's something you could easily chug this. It's that smooth.
And it's summertime. It's real hot, and it's really good.
It's
Drinking.
The aromas are all actually super hoppy, but the flavors are strictly like fruit and floral, and then it ends like on honey. You can definitely just taste that honey sitting in there.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, it's fantastic. That's actually very, very good.
Yeah.
And I think the Cascade hops in particular aren't real like aggressive. They're just there purely to level out the sweetness, to make sure that it's not too
Too sweet.
for your palate. So it's not like, ooh, like I can only drink so much of that, because it comes in mead. Usually comes in the form of like a bomber, like what we have here, or like a 750 milliliter bottle, which is for hard alcohol and wine. So if you do open it, you'll be drinking quite a bit if you're not sharing.
Meat's a kind of a hard
Well,
one
I'm
to find,
alcoholic,
too.
so
So it all works out.
You
It
can't really
all
just
works out.
walk in and find meat anywhere, too. That's kind of a tough one to nail down.
I mean, it's not common. No, you're right. Luckily, the liquor store close to us had a decent selection of meat. I was surprised. And that's more of the. It's not like low grade by any means at all, but apparently they have like these specialty mead that's like $30 a bottle.
Right.
That's apparently pristine and delicious. So I haven't tried that yet, but I thought this would be a good starting point for us.
yeah.
Sure.
And it's
That's something to
very
get
good.
into
Darn
a little
good.
bit more as we go.
yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Like it is like pretty intensely sweet, but I don't know, it's balanced well. To me, it does taste more like just juice.
Yeah, it definitely has like
The more I drink
like
it,
juice, yeah.
the more I drink it, it's like juice. I mean, that's not a bad thing at all. It's very good.
There's no head or anything. No carbonation. Those seem like that
No,
much.
not
at all.
really. No, but I think it's like every once in a while.
Yeah. It's not a very this one's not very complex at all.
Mm-mm.
You know, what I mean, it's pretty much just one flavor. I had one I'm trying to think. It's a German bar off of Bardstown, the Holy Grail.
Oh,
That's what it's
Yes,
called.
Yeah.
I love that.
And
place.
they had a mead there that they said it was they said it was like a raspberry mead, and
Yeah.
I'd never. I mean, it's hard to find mead, and so I was like, yeah,
It
I
is.
definitely
You
want to
just-
try it.
Yeah.
And it was like this on the front. It was this distinct like coffee, like heavy coffee flavor.
Mm-hmm.
And then on like as you drank it, like the back of it or the aftertaste was like the raspberry, and it was definitely more of a I get a little bit more complex, I guess you could say. You know,
Yeah,
And
had
it
a
was
lot more
definitely,
flavors going
like
on.
it was really filling and it was really satisfying because it was just packed such a punch, you know.
Mhm.
Whereas this one's a bit more just kind of one tone.
Yeah,
But
Yeah.
it's
well,
good.
being a bit, I'm assuming it's done with the Cascade hops because they're not real aggressive, and also it's dry. I don't know how that raspberry mead was, but being dry.
I'd say it was dry. Yeah, I
It's
would say it was
crisp.
a little dry. Yeah.
So typically they do have like a good amount of flavor, but it's not going to be overbearing. It's not going to be in your face, but like just really refreshing. So,
Refleshing,
did I say refreshing?
tasty.
Refreshing?
No, I'm saying refleshing.
Refreshing.
It puts my skin back on.
Refleshing.
So
I don't know what that laugh was though.
So we have an account on Untapped. What do we want to give a rating out of 5 out of this one, fellas?
Out of 5,
Yes.
3.5.
Yeah, I'd say 3.5,
Yeah.
4.
3.5. Yeah.
Alrighty. Cool.
Stamped.
Very good.
Done.
3.5.
You have been judged.
You have.
You have been weighed.
You have been
measured.
You've been found wanting.
What is going on? All right, we're going to go ahead and get our next round of stories. This one is from telegraph.co.uk. Headline reads, Mother, 19, stabbed boyfriend during sex after telling him men should only be used for human sacrifice. A young
Praying
mother
mantis.
has been jailed. Yeah, no.
Okay.
Basically every animal in it seems like in the insect world, every insect in the animal kingdom is
You make snoosh too.
snoo snoo.
Done.
Death by snoo snoo. A young mother has been jailed for 11 years after stabbing her occasional boyfriend. That sucks. To even after being stabbed, by this lady, you're only marked as occasional boyfriend, as they had sexual intercourse after texting him saying men should only be used as human sacrifice. Zoe Adams, 19, had dressed up as a clown and put a pillow over Kieran Bewick's head. That should have been a red flag as soon as you showed up and she was dressed up like a clown to make their encounter more exhilarating. In what she described as an overreaction, she whispered, "Trust me," to the 17-year-old Bewick before stabbing him 5 times in the chest, arm, and thigh with a 10-inch knife, collapsing his lung.
Oh.
Having seized Adams' iPhone, the court heard of images she had saved on her phone, which included a blood-soaked woman with the caption, "Murder is like a bag of chips. You can't stop after just one."
Oh my God.
Wow.
Weird but true.
Woo.
The device also had the text message to her victim reading, "I don't think about males unless said male is strapped up and being used as human sacrifice. You should be grateful you are not part of it." Adams claims she could not remember the incident, but sentencing, Judge James, which is a great daytime TV judge name, Judge James Atkin,
I love that
and
show.
her cruel, sadistic actions were deliberately intended to cause harm to her victim. He added that she planned the attack, taking the knife and duct tape to the bedroom in, you live someplace called Cumbria.
Go on.
Yes.
Go on.
That's all I have to say about that. What was it? Mr. Bewick, who was afraid of clowns, had declined Adams' earlier suggestion to be tied up with tape, and a pillow was a compromise. Judge Atkins said, "You had decided to cause serious harm to Mr. Bewick during sex. And I'm sure that by the time you had already become disinhibited by drink and drugs, and the more sadistic side of your personality had come to dominate," said Judge Atkin, ruling that Adams is a dangerous offender. "I struggle with the knowledge that someone I genuinely care about would do this to me," is what he said.
Wow.
"I showed up at her house and she dressed up like a clown. She wanted to tie me up. I find it weird that they allowed her to do she would do this to me. I thought we were real lovers." I don't know why they have a southern accent. They're from the UK.
He's from the southern part.
But he lives in Cumbria. So
Washington man will not face felony charges for building cave on public land. A 57-year-old homeless man will not face charges in Yakima County Superior Court after police say he lived in a cave he dug at the Sportsman State Park. Washington State Park rangers who investigated said it took the man about a month to build the cave where he had been living for about a year. The man, who has a number of criminal convictions, was arrested last week on possible malicious mischief charges after the cave was discovered.
was he like tying someone to train tracks
He
or like
was
putting dynamite on the?
masturbating.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, it's all malicious mischief. Kids nowadays getting into the mischief.
The writing's on the wall. Authorities
wall.
determined construction of the cave wouldn't constitute a felony charge to be heard in Superior Court, but he said he could still be charged in district or municipal court.
For jerking it.
This is my cave.
This is my cave. Stand there a few more seconds. Don't leave. Make eye contact with me. Okay, you can leave. Have a nice day at the park.
God, using a bat as a flesh toy.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
What do you prefer? I'd either throw my feces at you or this. Choose quickly. I like the fact that I'm giving him a more sophisticated voice.
Then you get the people from
Not the
UK.
southern drawl we heard.
I'm from a cave. I'm about to ejaculate. Please make your choice quickly. I am a busy man, a man about town.
Would you mind holding out your hands, please?
Hold out your hands.
Sharing is caring.
I'm trying to make sure you get protein.
Don't worry, just empty calories.
50 calories? This is a 0-calorie treat. I say, sir, quit screaming. Let's go on to our next story before I kill what left of humanity is left inside me and what very little is left.
All right, this one's about a terrorist rooster. Payo.
Yes.
Payo.
Yes, it is true. And guess where this is coming from? Miami, Florida.
Oh.
Welcome to Miami.
Bienvenido.
The rooster was served from a Santa Terra ceremony and became a beloved pet.
Wait. Let's take a few steps back. What was that word?
Santira.
Hold on, you read it. Santeria.
That was close.
I thought you were just trying to do like he came from a Santa.
Trying to mumble over that one.
Oh, I thought you were trying to do an accent. Like,
well, I was, but evidently I didn't do a very good job of pronouncing that word.
Oh my gosh, I was like, what is that? Anyways, go ahead, continue.
Well, it's the beloved pet. But the neighbor's Peyo is just a neighborhood bully. So
get this cock out of here.
He took my line. So anyway, the Peyo was rescued, according to an article by the Miami Herald, by a rooster-loving family right before he was going to get his throat slit by this
Santeria priest.
Thank you. Santeria.
I don't practice Santeria. I ain't got no... Whatever.
Now, Santeria is a Afro-American... I'm sorry.
That's right.
No, you got it right. You got it right.
Cut paste. Cut paste.
Let me correct that. Afro-Caribbean religion. Animals are often sacrificed in ceremonies. But once saved, Peyo was let go to the family's backyard, where he then gained a nickname in the neighborhood. It wasn't great. He was labeled the bully.
That's it?
Wait a minute.
I thought it was like the furious cock of the seven seas or something along that line.
Well, Alfred Hitchcock, where we labeled this or made a comparison, could make a scary movie about him because they said this rooster swore that he seen fangs, said one resident. Another claimed the other day, I heard people screaming, and I came outside and saw them running down the street. They were being chased by a rooster. It's been seen sinking its claws into a back of a bulldog and pecking at local cats, too. Some say this rage is fueled by his consumption of strong Cuban coffee.
So we have this violent rooster. Let's give him caffeine and see what happens.
No, wait.
And what was his nickname? Did they ever? Was it just the bully?
Peyo.
They used labeled as a bully, but his name was Peyo.
Peyo.
Oh, okay.
P-A-Y-O.
P-A-Y-O.
So what? I have a question, not related to the rooster at all. What is the difference between, you said, Afro-Caribbean religion?
Well, this
Is that different from Rastafarian?
I have no idea. Is that like the technical term? I have no idea.
No idea.
All of
Because
this
I've
is going to
never
make
heard
me
that.
sound like a terrible person. I've never heard that term used either. Afro-Caribbean?
that's what it says there on the article. So
I don't know. NPR.
There you go.
Look it up.
They look.
You got beef? Come with them.
They got the research behind them. So, and I know it says that also that others stare in the blood red eyes and think he's possessed. Others say the fight has moved online.
He's like fighting chicken or something.
Afro-Caribbean is basically just someone with African descent living in the Caribbean.
Basically, yes.
Oh, okay.
I feel like, okay, well, that's cool. You learn something new every day.
So
Knowing is half the
his
battle.
rescue family says he's trying to find him another home before the Miami Chicken Buster Squad comes to get him.
Why don't they just, I'm going to throw this out there. You just kill him. He's a rooster and they're not good for anything. They're really not.
No.
They just run around and cause havoc and scream.
Yeah.
Roosters, chickens in general, or just roosters?
No,
Just roosters.
Oh, okay.
Chickens have, like hens have.
they have a purpose.
I mean, you could kill a rooster and eat it.
Right.
But I mean, that's really,
Very
besides
stringy.
running around and screaming and attacking you. I mean, if I ran around in the streets screaming and sinking my talons into the backs of bulldogs,
I would probably kill and eat you.
yeah, they'd probably kill and eat me. And this
Why not?
rooster's over here getting away with it.
It's just not right.
Ridiculous.
What a savage.
Was it the terrorist? The terrorist chicken? What's that in Spanish?
Pollo.
Pollo terrorista.
Pollo terrorista. That is the name of the episode.
Okay, that's a good one. We'll go with that then. All right, let's go on to our next story here.
A man busted selling energy drinks containing meth. Homemade energy drinks. West Virginia, oddly enough, not Florida. Boone County resident Jasper June, 72 years old,
Man. Also crime fighter right there.
was arrested today on felony charges of manufacturing and distributing homemade energy drinks containing that powerful stimulate methamphetamine.
Stimulate.
The Boone County Drug Task Force raided June's tree fort.
Hey, you get down from there. I ain't come down.
June lives in a 200 square foot tree fort on his brother's property.
Dang, that's pretty dope. I ain't gonna lie.
To find Jasper wearing only an adult diaper and reading an Arabic pornographic magazine.
Sounding less tight as we continue.
Police seized approximately 25 2-liter bottles of June's energy drink found in a cinder block pump house on the property. The bottles tested positive for methamphetamine. June came under suspicion when he sold 4 bottles to several high school girls who hours later were checked into a hospital with internal bleeding.
Oh my god!
The children's parents phoned authorities. A police report contained several statements from June. They're just energy drinks like Rockstar Monster. It's not meth in there. It's just lemonade, caffeine,
Sir, we didn't
sugar.
say meth. You said meth.
It's just lemonade, caffeine, sugar, and a couple drops of gasoline.
Oh my god!
I swear to God, I didn't put meth in there. Customers.
Why do you keep saying meth or miss? It's Jane, right? Miss, why do you keep saying meth?
Customers would come by to June's home to buy the energy drinks for $20 a bottle. One customer spoke on the condition of oh crap. I know what that word is, but I'm having a hard time getting it out. They want to be anonymous. I'm shocked Jasper put crank in his energy drinks. I didn't know anything about that. I just knew they worked good to keep me awake for a couple days. Stuff way better than Monster. Hours after June's first statement, he confessed, "Okay, I put just a little meth in there to get them addicted and keep customers coming back.
Okay.
I know they'll all testify against me, so let me make something else clear. I pissed in every bottle." June also faces child endangerment charges for poisoning the girls who drank his homemade concoction.
But I mean,
While he's screaming
Isn't
into
it-
Arab pornographic
isn't it-
magazines going,
isn't it kind
and
of
then his
on
bomb
the
explodes.
kids? Isn't it on the kids? If you
Oh no, if you could see this bottle, like if I turn that around, they're not like
oh my god,
they're literally 2-liter bottles with like the labels ripped off, and then there's masking tape with energy drink written on it, and then $20.
I mean, if you're buying that from a dude who lives in a tree wearing a
looks
diaper,
like that.
constantly beating it to porn mags,
Arabic porn
Arabic
mags,
porn mags.
yeah.
I don't know why that had to be thrown in there. Porn is porn. Like
Arabic's very
I
special.
accept all
all colors of the
All
rainbow.
porn is equal.
all
yeah.
colors of the rainbow. But the fact that you would have to, like, you bought this from a guy who was in a tree wearing a diaper, ferociously beating it. You probably came into like, "Hey June, hold up." You know,
My bomb's going off.
hold on, I'm almost done with this batch. So, I mean, it's kind of on the kids. You probably shouldn't buy. I mean,
It's your
He's like, you know,
fault.
I'd make you some of my special drink, but I don't have to pee right now. Give me an hour.
come back in like 25 minutes, 30 minutes, 25, 30 minutes. Yeah, that's crazy. It's- There's no meth in there. There's no meth. All right, there's a little bit of meth. And there's also my piss.
Maybe some gasoline.
Sir, we just asked what your name
Yes,
was.
sir, we're
just
not
asked
even
for
convicting
ID.
you of anything. Yeah, I killed him. Yeah, I killed him, and I did everything. Oh, geez. All right, let's go ahead and get into our last beer of the night.
It's by a company out of Columbus, Ohio called Wild Ohio Brewing. This one is a tea beer called Mango Hops.
I'm interested.
Cascade hops may seem boring, they say, but when they are combined with ripe and luscious mangoes, you acquire a flavor beyond what you thought possible.
Ripe.
We use special beer brewing secrets to bring you a special tropical flavor in a bottle. This is a can. You all are wrong. The smooth taste of our mango hops beer will leave you desiring more. This beer will bring the joy of a tropical paradise. So, yeah, okay.
Fun fact.
Me and Jared drank one of these the other day, and it is really good, and it tastes just like tea, except it's alcoholic. It's great.
It's
I use both
fantastic.
the words ripe and luscious to describe Ethan.
I
On a
agree.
daily
He said
basis.
it to me on the phone at night before.
Not before. I just called. He picked up and was like, hello. And I was like, ripe, luscious. And I hung up.
I said, I know.
I know, babe. I
I
know.
know. Every night before bed.
All right. So I'm excited to see this. So it looks, it definitely has it's got a pretty decent head on it, though.
Got
Yeah.
mango hops. Mango hops in it.
Jason also says that about me as well.
What, mango hops? Now you got a big head on you?
It's got a pretty decent head on it. I have a hard time wearing hats.
Like
It's a problem.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, that was wonderful.
Walk into the hat store and they're like, sir, we're going to
Ain't gonna happen.
Ain't gonna happen.
Just walk out right
Just
now.
turn around. All right. And we're getting the first taste of it. Ethan has, let me see here.
That's good. It's a mango tea, basically.
Yeah, I mean,
Except to get you drunk.
it definitely smells, it has a strong mango, and then there is a tiny hint of like that, traditional tea smell. Man, that's really good.
It's so good. It's
It
really
does-
easy to drink. It's probably easier to drink than the mead.
The only weird thing is, and this could be because I'm constantly doing shots of Old Forester while we're recording, but I do get like an iron or a metallic taste at the end of it. I don't know if that's maybe just me because of the Old Forester.
It would be probably just from a little bit of the hops.
Yeah,
It just might be doing a little bit of that.
Just a tinge of that intenseness at the end. That's a word.
Yeah.
Intenseness. Yeah, it's definitely very good. You definitely get that the tea flavor. I mean, everything is so perfectly balanced. So like the mango and tea and hops are very, very well balanced.
This to me is like a beer I think what we've covered tonight, these two are like a mead is a beer alternative.
Mhm.
It's not necessarily it's not a beer, but it's not something that you'll run into and are like, oh, I have mead on hand, like of your buddy's house, or this either, which is apparently the new thing for 2018 is tea infused beers. So this is
Which
another,
I'm happy about. That's cool.
which is
Yeah.
something I would look into if you're maybe not a huge beer fan.
Yeah.
And that's
What is the alcohol content on that?
Does it
Particular
doesn't
one.
say on there?
I
I think it was 5.6.
It doesn't say on here.
8%.
Okay, yeah.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, there it is.
That's
And
what
I
was
mean,
shocking
That's
too.
deceiving.
And that's
That's
pretty
what-
heavy.
Yeah, it's.
I mean,
pretty
that's
strong.
probably every bit as heavy as a like maybe a stout.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
it is.
And I mean, and this is something that I honestly could drink. I could drink this any time of the day,
Yeah.
all day.
While
I
you're
mean, it's-
driving.
Yeah, while
It's
you're
great.
driving, while you're doing surgery,
Yeah.
while you're punching an old person,
Mhm.
boom, crack back, Wild Ohio Brewing. I'm so sorry. We're never gonna get sponsors for this. Never in a million
I tried to
years.
email him to get an interview, and I don't think that's going to happen now.
Wild Ohio, kill an old person. No, but it is fantastic. That is one of probably one of my favorite beers we've had on this show.
I know you. I know you.
So that's
They have
I think
plenty
that's,
of others too. Like this could be a regular. There's a lot of. There's a blueberry. There's a black cherry bourbon.
I've had that one.
There's
that
a
one's super good.
Very good.
blood orange tangerine.
I bet that's good.
Then the mango hops like we had, and then there's the Dolly Palmer, which is a lemonade flavored tea beer.
Arnold
Yeah.
Palmer. I get
The
it.
black
Fine,
cherry
fine.
is pretty good. I would say mango is my favorite. I've only had those two, but the black cherry bourbon is 9%. So
Wow.
they are
That's
really
heavy.
packing it in the small can.
Which is nice too, because I mean, I know, like you said, this is gluten free, and that's obviously something that's pretty difficult to find.
Oh yeah,
among-
so was the mead tonight. Both of these are
Both
gluten-free
gluten-free.
options. So if you can't have beer like everybody else,
yeah,
it's great.
yeah. This is and this will get you turned real quick, so you can just stop doing that meth. I know meth is gluten free and cocaine is gluten free, but if you want to really get turned and have a good time, Wild Ohio Brewing Mango Hops Tea
Without
beer.
being arrested for it.
Yeah, without being arrested. I mean, you still might get arrested if you're driving. Don't drink and drive. Don't do surgery and drive. Don't punch old people. Wild Ohio Brewing. See, I even came up with their new
I like how you
slogan.
work that in there. It's nice.
Did you like that? That could be their new slogan. That's their slogan now.
Yeah. Slogie.
I haven't eaten anything all day besides Frosted Flakes this morning, so we've been drinking and doing shots of Old Forester, and it's getting me quick. My comprehension is just dropping so very rapidly.
So on Untapped, what are we gonna rate the Mango and Hops Wild Ohio Brewing out of 5?
For what it is, I mean, it is exactly what they say it is. It's a mango tea beer.
I give it a 5.
I'd give it a 5.
Yeah, I'd give it a 5 as well.
You
just
get exactly what you'd expect.
Yeah.
That's right. I'm gonna put that down.
Also, if you want your new slogan, Wild Ohio, just hit me up. But it's been good. It's been good seeing you guys again.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's been nice to get
Tim,
together.
you look like you regret it. Ah, yes.
It's a deep sadness in your eyes.
Ah, yes.
We've been expecting you to sign a few papers.
I can't ever tell you guys how much I love the fact that I can make that reference and you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. I'd say it all the time and everybody just looks at me like, what's wrong with him? Ah, yes. Oh man, I'm sure there's some Elder Scrolls fans out there that'll get a kick out of it. Our Elder Scroll fans in the Philippines. We see you out there in the Philippines,
Trying to hide.
supporting us. Trying to hide?
You're sitting there trying to hide, but we see you.
I see everything. Thank you all so much for listening to another episode of Laughs and Drafts. As always, you can find us on all the social media platforms. You can find us on iTunes as well. Please go there, leave a comment, subscribe. It helps us a ton. And plus, the first 100 people to leave a comment will get a free sticker by us. And we've been shooting those out. We thank you guys so much for our support. Your support, not our support.
Thanks for letting us support us.
Thank you for letting me support me.
No one else will.
God knows. No one else is going to.
Well, for drowning.
You can also find us now on Spotify. We recently got accepted there, and find us on Twitter at Laughs Drafts.
Also on Facebook, check us out, laughsanddrafts.com.
And you can, if you would like to donate, you can. You can help support the show, patreon.com/laughsanddrafts. We have a couple different tiers of rewards. So for people that do decide to donate and support the show, you might get a little tickle of the belly button. You never know what you're going to get.
You never know what you're going to get.
Never know.
I
really
want to
is
sign up
up
right
to-
now,
yeah.
and I can tickle my own belly button, but I want you to do it.
Or you might get spanked.
Oh, you might get spanked.
I forget, how do we
But
have
if
it set
you
up?
want-
Do we have tiers, or is it just you donate and you
Yeah,
get
you
something?
know, we have
there's
tiers.
There's tiers.
Okay, that's what I thought. I didn't want to.
But the big thing is Tim mentioned there is a spanking tier. However, if you do not want that spanking tier, we do require a handwritten letter from your parents saying that you would like either a high five or a hug and a piece of candy. Gosh, this episode's been interesting.
It's been a lot of fun. We haven't seen each other in almost a month. So
And I can't wait for another month to go by without saying a word to any of you. Actually, funny enough, we moved all of our desks around because our team switched at my work. So now I'm right by a window facing, was it plant side?
yes.
No joke, I watch you go by every day.
Now you do.
I happen to turn out the window and I'll be like on my break. And it's timed. My break is right when you get back, and I see you go by the window, and I'm like, there he is.
There's a dead deer on the front of this van.
Just strapped to the front with bungee cords.
Bringing back your dead. Bring out your dead.
I just need to have the bell and everything up the
The window. You need to walk into the vet clinics. Bring
Town
out
crier.
your dead.